When we talk to junior explorers, small companies, you're around sort of $25 million.
Yeah.
I know you've got a lot of experience in the country, but there's a relatively new project to the market. Okay. When we talk to people, they ask them what the business plan is, and they say, "Oh, we're going to drill." And I know you're going to drill, but that does not equate to a business plan. So what you've done is you've ensured you've got enough finances to do the exploration that you want to. You've got an outside partner who's paying you, and that's going to keep you going for the next year? Is that the idea?
Well, it is. We aim to finish the year with about $1.5 million, or at least $1.5 million US in treasury. But what we are seeing is that there's a lot of interest in projects in Ecuador. If you want to find large copper gold projects, Ecuador is one of the best places in the world to go to at the moment. And there's a great deal of scrutiny on Ecuadorian companies, in a good way.
Right.
A lot of interest. And so what we hope to be able to do is to open up a series of data rooms in the second half of the year, structure a farm out, and in that way we'll be able to recycle capital into one of our other 100% owned projects. So we can get another paid farm out with more income, and then we can...
So you're replicating this model. It's a cookie cutter approach to it, which kind of keeps the lights on, keeps you going, keeps exploring, keeps you going. But at some point, the idea is for you to identify an asset for you to develop through to, well, presumably production at some point, or whatever you choose to do along the line. Is that the idea? Or?
Well, our expertise is as exploration, and we're really, really focused on value per share.
Okay.
So if you look at the value of the Curupamba asset, which is the one we've already done a farm out on it, we believe that on a value per share basis, we should be looking at a 40 to 50 cent point today on our share price, and our shares are at 20 cents. Mm-hmm. Now, if we can, with the expertise that we've got and the drill rigs we've got and the way that we can operate in country, we can identify another project which adds 10 or 20 cent to the share, then that's value accretive. And that's really what we're doing. And we're not necessarily saying, oh, we want to become miners. No, we want to make that discovery. We want to own enough of it to drill it out and take it up the value curve. If it's a big copper porphyry, for example, once you've done the first phase of drilling on it, or possibly the second phase drilling on it on a 100% basis, you need to be a major to be able to fund the drilling.
See, that's refreshingly honest. Again, we talk to people and they go, "Oh, we're going to take it through to production," and they feel they need to talk this language, which is confusing to investors, because they think, okay, he said he's going to get into production, that's what they're going to do. But the reality is they'll never be able to put the finances in place, but they feel they've got to use that language so they don't get the kind of buyer discount applied, which is, may or may not be true, but it's kind of slightly misleading. So you're very clear about your model, what you want to be.
We're looking at value per share all the time. If it's a high grade, steeply dipping gold deposit that we can drill out relatively easily, it's quite a low cost thing, we will absolutely want to take that on a 100% basis. Okay. But if it's a huge copper porphyry, we'll want to bring in a major to fund the drilling. Right. Otherwise you're...
Understood. Very clear. Thank you. But that's not what we're here to talk about today, because we read there's been some changes in country with the ministry, the Ministry for Mines has appointed someone. Can you tell us a bit about that? Because I think it has a little bit of impact about, I think people's perception of the country, and obviously you know a little bit about the guy as well.
Yes, there have been some changes in the government on the ministry side, but both at the ministerial level of the petroleum, non-renewable and environmental, so that the senior minister in charge of our whole portfolio has changed, and the vice minister of mines, the person responsible for the mining sector, has also changed.
Why?
The previous oil, for want of a better word, minister resigned because he'd done a fantastic job over a number of years and was tired, frankly. And the person who got put in his place, Augusto Briones, he's very well known by the president. He's got a long background in the oil industry. He's an excellent person to run that ministry. Mm-hmm. The Vice Minister of Mines for the last few years has been Fernando Benalcazar, and he's done a fantastic job nurturing the mining industry and kind of developing it. With the change of his overseeing kind of minister, the Vice Minister position changed as well. And so they were looking around the country for an appropriate replacement, and Mr. Enrique Gallego Anda has been appointed. And he's been in the sector, mining and oil and gas, for decades, over 30 years. And I think perhaps the interesting point is that he was previously working for Curipamba. He was on the Curipamba project, which is the Salazar project, and he was heading up the community relations and the government liaison.
Right.
So really at the nexus of what we think Salazar Resources is all about, which is getting the technical to match with the community and working kind of in partnership with the land and the government.
Okay. So he knows, obviously he knows a bit about your project, which is good. Are you going to be replacing him?